When you picture a billionaire, what car do you see them driving? Maybe a gold-plated Lamborghini? A custom-built Bugatti? Or perhaps a whole fleet of Ferraris? We're so used to seeing flashy supercars in movies and music, videos that we automatically assume the super rich are all about that life. But what if I told you that the reality is often much, much different? Today, we're pulling back the curtain and looking at the actual cars that some of the world's wealthiest people choose to drive every day. The answers might just surprise you and completely change how you think about wealth. Let's start with one of the most famous examples, Mark Zuckerberg. The founder of Facebook, now Meta, has a net worth that's almost impossible to comprehend. So what does he drive? You might have seen him in a sleek black Acura TSX. A reliable, comfortable sedan that costs around $30,000. He's also been spotted in a Volkswagen Golf GTI, a fun and practical hatchback. Why? Because for him, a car is just a tool to get from point A to point B. He's focused on building his empire, not on showing off his wealth with an extravagant car. It's a classic case of what many call stealth wealth. This isn't an isolated case. Let's talk about the legendary investor Warren Buffett. For years, he drove a Cadillac XTS, which he only replaced after his daughter practically begged him to upgrade. His reason? He only drives about 3,500 miles a year, so a new car just didn't seem necessary. He famously said he prefers to buy things that offer good value, and for him, a modest car does the job perfectly. His choice reflects his entire investment philosophy: be practical, avoid unnecessary expenses, and focus on long-term value. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart with your money, no matter how much you have. And what about the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos? Sure, he has a private jet and a superyacht, but for his daily commute, he was famously seen driving a Honda Accord for many years, even after becoming a billionaire. When asked why, his answer was simple: it's a perfectly good car. This mindset is surprisingly common among the ultra-wealthy. They see cars as functional objects, not status symbols. They've already proven their success in the business world. They don't need a vehicle to do it for them. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about the tech guys in Silicon Valley? Surely they're all driving Teslas, and you'd be right to an extent. Many tech entrepreneurs, including Elon Musk himself, of course, drive Teslas. But it's not just about the status. For them, driving a Tesla aligns with their values. It represents innovation, a forward-thinking mindset, and a commitment to sustainability. The Tesla Roadster, Model S, or Cybertruck becomes an extension of their professional identity. They are investing in and supporting the very technology and future they are helping to build. It's less about luxury and more about being part of a movement. But what about the billionaires who do love cars? Of course, they exist. People like Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, is a well-known car enthusiast with an incredible collection that includes a McLaren F1 and a Lexus LFA. Comedian and investor Jerry Seinfeld has one of the most impressive Porsche collections on the planet. For them, cars are a passion, a hobby, an art form. They appreciate the engineering, the history, and the driving experience. But even here, there's a distinction. They are collectors. For their daily drive, you might still find them in something surprisingly understated. The flashy cars are often for special occasions, track days, or simply as part of a curated collection, like fine art. So, why this trend of modest cars? It comes down to a few key psychological factors. First, there's decision fatigue. People like Zuckerberg and the late Steve Jobs, who famously wore the same outfit every day, do it to reduce the number of trivial decisions they have to make. Choosing a car falls into that category. A simple, reliable car means one less thing to worry about. Second, there's the element of security and privacy. Driving a flashy supercar attracts a lot of unwanted attention. A 10-year-old Honda Accord? Not so much. It allows them to blend in, run errands, and live a semblance of a normal life without being constantly photographed or followed. It's a practical choice for maintaining a low profile. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it's about a different definition of status. For many of these billionaires, their status isn't tied to material possessions. Their status comes from their achievements, their influence, and the impact they have on the world. They've reached a level of success where they don't need external validation. The I've made it purchase for them might be a multi-million-dollar donation to a charity, not a new Lamborghini. Their focus has shifted from accumulating wealth to using it in meaningful ways. Let's look at a few more examples. Jim Walton, an heir to the Walmart fortune, drives an old Dodge Dakota pickup truck. It's practical, durable, and gets the job done. It perfectly reflects the frugal, down-to-earth values that his father, Sam Walton, built the Walmart empire on. Alice Walton, his sister, one of the richest women in the world, drives a Ford F-150 King Ranch. Again, a practical, high-quality truck that fits her lifestyle, not a flashy sports car designed to turn heads. Ingvar Kamprad, the late founder of IKEA, was legendary for his frugality. For over 2 decades, he drove an old Volvo 240. He believed in the IKEA philosophy of affordability and practicality in his own life. He flew economy class, ate at cheap restaurants, and saw no reason to spend money on a car when his old one worked just fine. His car was a symbol of his core business principles. So, what can we learn from all this? The biggest takeaway is that true wealth isn't always loud. It's often quiet, confident, and unconcerned with public opinion. These billionaires teach us that financial freedom is about having choices, and many of them choose simplicity. They prioritize function over form, value over flash, and experiences over possessions. Of course, there will always be billionaires who love their supercars, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the surprising reality is that a significant number of the world's richest people drive cars that your neighbor might own. They're more focused on their work, their families, and their passions than they are on impressing people at a stoplight. The next time you see a simple, older car on the road, don't be so quick to judge. The person behind the wheel might just be a billionaire who understands that the ultimate luxury isn't a fancy car, it's the freedom to not care about what you drive. What do you think? Does this change your perspective on wealth? And if you were a billionaire, what car would you drive? Let me know your dream garage in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this look into the lives of the super rich, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. See you next time.